We now have Domino's cups, sweetie. He said he gave me 3, but he gave me. Yeah, they're plastic. Yeah, he said he gave me 3, but that's fine. Hmm. Pasta, pasta, pasta.
Alright, when Perrin pops back, we'll get started. Alright, fantastic. I think everyone's here. So, previously, uh, you guys pursue the butcher into a place just south of Market Street, on the borders of the Warrens, Market Street, and the docks. He was you interrupted. Well, not really. You caught him at the tail end of some sort of blood ritual or some kind of ritual magic involving uh, a sacrifice. I guess you could call it. The person in a cage who you recognize as Alan Doris. The ritual reached its conclusion, and he attempted to escape via a opening that drained most of the bloody murkish water into the Undercroft. Through your tenacity, you prevented his escape, and he eventually realized that he wasn't going to get away and decided to cast his actual final spell slot, which is kind of funny, which ended up knocking Arthur and Milo unconscious. No, just Arthur. Yeah. Uh, and then, whereupon thinking that, no, no. Obadiah went unconscious and fell down, and then Arthur fell down. Milo had already jumped in after Arthur, uh, Obi rolled his ridiculous natural 20 death saving throw. And then just when you thought you'd gotten out and broken Aelin of her mind control, whatever she's under, she seemingly quite apologetic about the situation and kind of like regretfully picked up Thalia and threw her bodily into the shaft. You guys found yourself at the bottom and then proceeded to cut the rope that Obadiah was hanging onto. You guys find yourself in this cavern that's like partially flooded, well, mostly flooded with that murkish, brackish, viscous water / blood. You managed to resuscitate everyone, and I think Thalia, you said that you wanted to bring up Leonard's tiny hut, I think it's called, or just call it tiny hut.
Yeah, tiny
and
hut.
Rest
Yep.
a day. Okay, so tiny hut's a ritual, so yeah, you can do that. You can totally just like cast it, and then 8 hours later, just cast it again. I mean, only you have to stay in it, right? So everyone else can be like coming and going, depending on what they're doing. So is that what everyone is doing? You're deciding to take this moment to long rest down here?
Yeah, he's gonna rest. Milo's gonna rest, and if he has any opportunity to, he's gonna study a new spell.
All right. By the way, just remember that I don't know if I mentioned this to you or not, but you do have the last of the 3 lead-lined books that you were asked to recover by the Mysterium, as well as a seemingly some kind of like a spell book or a ritual book or
An infernal book, I believe it was.
yeah,
Infernal one.
it was written in Infernal, correct?
I do believe it was.
So I assume during this 8 hours you would have examined that book more closely.
Milo definitely would have.
Okay, so most of the stuff is written in Infernal, but there's a couple of pages near, I would say, like 3/4 through the book, which is why you didn't immediately notice it. That was written in Common. Unfortunately, it seems to be written in some sort of cipher. You get the inkling just from your pure intellect that this cipher is probably just like like a letter substitution cipher that you could probably break it easy enough, but it'd take you like maybe an hour or so, depending on your roll. Do you wish to do so down here, or do you want to wait until you get back to the observatory?
While we're in the hut, I think I would. I would give my before I just went into it, I would give my companions a heads up when that I was looking at it and try to figure it out.
Okay, roll me an intelligence check. Yeah, just pure intelligence. Add your proficiency if you want.
That's just straight intelligence, so get the +3 is that?
I think it's like +4, right? No, you guys are +3. Never mind. So 20. Yeah. So it takes you about 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It's actually easier than you thought it would be. Like it's odd that the cipher is that simple to solve. There's no like staggered substitution. It's literally just like each letter is replaced with something else. And it brings up a short passage. The passage says something akin to, I won't quote it verbatim, but it explains that with the final parts of the ritual complete, with the final parts of the ritual worked out and the components gathered, soon I shall be able to control. Soon I shall be able to develop the means to control the feeders down in the Undercroft. Once they have imbibed the tainted blood, this ritual should be able to control their movements and through a simple verbal directive. After I've built an army of feeders, I shall be able to breach the archive in the Undercroft. And it won't be long before then that I can finish assembly of the pieces, and that's where it leaves off.
I would relay that to my companions, and and Milo would say, "Oh, this is useful. We could use this. Fight fire with fire."
Arthur will just give him like a look, like I don't know, suggesting that he doesn't agree.
A disapproving look.
Pretty much, yeah.
Would you go so far as to call it a glare?
Not quite.
All right, so, are you guys taking watches? Failure, is the dome translucent or opaque?
I believe we can see out, but they can't see in. Let me check really quick.
Yeah,
I think that is right. I have that.
I think you can turn the dome opaque from the outside at will.
Until the spell ends, you can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark. The dome is opaque from the outside, but transparent
Okay,
from the
excellent.
inside. And those that are inside can move in and out, but those that are trying to come from the outside, like people that weren't in the spell to begin with, cannot come in.
Yep. So Arthur, Milo, and Obi, assuming that you guys were in the circle when she cast it, you can leave and come back as you choose. So like I said, are you guys bothering to like take basic watches? We'll split this up into 3 8 hours. The first 8, the second 8, and the third 8.
Milo would take the first. To be honest, I think he's checking out the books as well as he's supposed to keep watch.
Yeah, that's fine.
While he's inside, while everybody's inside this hut.
That's fine. Roll me a 1d100. Sorry, a perception check and then a 1d100.
Okay. I will also my familiars swimming around in the brackish water.
Okay. Yeah, your familiar is not enjoying the experience. Like, it communicates this to you rather forcefully.
And I communicate back to it with my thoughts. Well, you can't breathe out
It's
of
not my
water.
part. My only job at the moment is to hold the spell for 24 hours.
Like, yeah, it's disgusting and it's probably unhealthy as well. Anyway,
Well, I'm casting Lumen's tiny head. I have to hold the spell.
yeah, so perception and then just the 1d100. Oh, wow, okay. Okay. I didn't actually expect it to come up the first cycle. Okay. So yeah. About
Really, Bella. You give her a new box. She has to lay on it.
4 hours into your whatever you're doing during these 8 hours. Your companion, your familiar, rather, um,
Take it from my
alerts you to the
box.
fact that it has sensed something moving around in the water. There's like a disturbance to the water flow that's not otherwise natural. You know, like the earth shaking or uh, water dripping, etc. And you kind of uh, become alert to your surroundings, and you can't quite see what is in, even with your dark vision, which I believe you have like 60 feet.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't quite see what is exactly disturbing the water, but you get the distinct impression that you are no longer alone in this cave. You get that sensation um, that most people get. They, maybe it's a sixth sense, maybe it's just intuition, but you get the intuition that you are being watched by something.
I would look through. I want to look through the Quipper's eyes to see if he sees anything
Okay.
other than what I'm seeing.
Roll me a perception check for your Quipper, or I think it's with your Quipper.
Yeah, I think it's just this. It has a mental skills of mine. I gotta look up a Quipper and see if it has any perception. I don't think it does though.
It's exactly the same thing. That's funny. Yeah. I can't quite pinpoint the source of the disturbance, but it can definitely tell that there is something else moving around down here in the water.
Okay, then when I can't find more out through it, I come back into my own sight and I wake up the person closest to me, which is I guess Thalia, and then I would just go to Obi, and then I would go to Arthur and say there's something going on in the water.
Yeah, they're not necessarily asleep, but they're not on duty. They're drying their clothes. Obi, would you? Oh no, never mind. You're right up.
If everybody would be awake, I would just say something. Then I would just say, oh, there's something going on. The Quipper senses movement in the water.
What the rest of you do?
Are
Is
you
that-
talking, Rum?
Yeah, I can't hear
You sound like I don't know. It doesn't sound like your voice is coming through, but whenever someone else talks, it comes through full volume twice.
Sounds like he's
He's got
underwater.
his mic plugged into the speaker slot.
It could.
We'll see when he gets back.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, that's why no one was responding to my witty remarks. Ever since I have fixed the Rhino revolver, I've basically been looking out for crocodiles this entire time. So the moment he says there's something out there, I'm scanning for crocodiles.
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
Thalia would have her dancing lights cantrip over the water. Or at least far enough out that people can see.
Okay, move them to where you want them to be.
Okay, so. Right? 20, okay. That one will stay there.
And Arthur, I assume you have light cast basically this entire time.
Yeah, pretty much. If it's dark and he's awake, he has light.
Yep, that's perfectly fine. By the way, the dancing lights don't actually have to be 20 feet within you. They
No,
can be
20 feet within each other.
just 20 feet within each other. Alright, so
But
with
this gives
her
us-
dancing lights help, Obadiah, you notice through your keen senses and observational uh, abilities, you notice that a significant amount of water sloshes onto the ledge here, and then recedes back down into the water.
I would point it out and try to stifle a chuckle as I'm about to go crocodile hunting in my mind.
You don't have to stifle a chuckle in here.
Oh, well, I would just off instinct. Just kind of point, crocodile, crocodile, and point in that direction.
Yeah, you don't see what caused the disturbance.
I have
or-
no clue if it's crocodile or not, but I'm assuming it is.
Okay. How do the rest of you respond?
Thalia put her lights there. She can't leave the area if she wants the tiny hut to stay up.
All right.
Arthur will say, if you be sentient, reveal yourself.
Interesting. Interesting.
Crocodile's not going to respond to that.
Roll me a persuasion.
Hey, remember how I'm real good at these?
Yeah.
You hear breathing. Now that everyone has quieted down and is listening out for it, you hear breathing. And then you hear a reedy, raspy voice say, in an almost whispered tone, although you can hear his words clearly, he says, "You four reek of destiny. Did you bring her with you?" Can you hear that, by the way?
We four
Yeah.
reek of destiny. Did we bring her with us?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear that.
And then you hear something sniff audibly at the air. And then the voice, almost talking to itself, responds, "No, you don't have it with you. You carried it, but for a moment."
Do you speak of the box?
The voice doesn't directly respond to you, but instead asks you a different question in response to your query. It says, "Pray tell, do you seek the archive? Does Alexander seek to break that which has been sealed away?"
That's interesting.
Archive. I don't need to archive. I need a patent office.
Yeah, you need your patent office. You say that out loud?
You know what? I would, because I'm already disappointed it's not a crocodile. It's like,
Oh,
nope, I need a patent office. It's kind of like mumbling to myself. The last day and a half, I've lost my main gun.
Right.
I'm not happy.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to respond to your mutterings.
That's fine.
How do you respond to his question, the rest of you?
I think Milo would just get blunt and to the point. Oh, who are you looking for? Maybe we can help you.
The voice responds and says, "Looking. The person I seek does not exist. Not anymore."
And are there bones in the archive?
You hear a exhalation, and it says, "The archive contains many things." That's all it says, by the way. Maybe it's a talking crocodile, Obi.
I'm gonna peek my head out. Like, you know, like just like stick my head out of the hut
Okay.
Thwack.
and like get ready to pull it in, but just to see. I can see
You
through
can-
this thing anyways, can't I?
Yeah, you can see through the thing anyway, and it theoretically it can't see you inside.
Yes and no. If I'm annoyed.
And theoretically it can't smell you inside either.
Theoretically, that's true. I don't know this. Magic is weird. I'd stick my head out.
Arthur will say, "We cannot play the game you are playing unless we know the rules."
The voice doesn't respond to your question, although you can hear it breathing, like in, out, in, like it's slower than your breathing.
She doesn't exist anymore. Maybe there's some way to bring her back.
The voice responds almost with a louder, like a more forceful tone than it has been before. Before it was just whispering. Now it says in a rather audible volume, a more normal tone. It says, "That would not be a wise course of action."
Who is she to you?
Are you like those foolish sun seekers who are rampaging through the Undercroft?
Who are they?
They are cultists who seek to nullify the compact. They cannot succeed.
Do you mean the Radiant Dawn?
The voice kind of exhales and says,
Or
"It
Radiant
matters.
Light?
It matters not what they call themselves. I see them for who they are."
I just needed to know because they are my enemy.
It's Radiant Dawn, by the way. Actually, no, Radiant Light suits as well. No, let's call it Radiant Light for the sake of distinction, because Dawn is more associated with Eos. To your comment, then the voice responds. Then I have no quarrels with you, Moon Priest.
He just sort of nods, assuming that the thing can see him anyways.
It can't.
Yeah, he can see. He's not thinking, arcane magic.
Wait, he said Moon Priest?
Yeah, Moon Priest.
Milo would say, well, I'm with him.
The voice actually asks you, like, it ignores your comment, your declaration, Milo, and it asks. Actually, it doesn't. You don't know who it's asking. It just says, "Are you responsible for this puddle?"
No. Thalia
We-
says.
We killed the one that is.
He's still floating up there, by the way. It's just a legless corpse
I
bobbing
would
up and down.
throw out his foot. The foot I have in the satchel of holding. I would throw it out and say that this is what remains of the person who's responsible for the puddle, and just whoop, throw out the foot.
How far do you throw out?
Probably like out to here.
Sorry, I missed your ping. Okay. After like 2 or 3 seconds, actually probably more than that, like 10 seconds or so, you see the foot flip from, so it's lying on its left side, it flips to lying on its right side, and it just says, actually it doesn't say anything, you just hear breathing.
Do I hear chewing?
No, you don't. The foot looks like, well, it's obvious by now. Something invisible basically flipped the foot over while examining it, and it says, "What do you for seek down here in this darkness?"
I'd assume mainly a way out, and possibly a stop. If it's not too far from here.
There is no way out. No path that goes back, the voice responds. What was the second part of your query?
A quick stop somewhere at the ironworks if it's not too far.
Do you say that?
Yeah. I mean, this person seems to know what's going on.
The Delphric Ironworks is not far from here. However, to get there from here, you will need to travel through the feeder's territory. And you will not pass for one of the Hallowed.
Well, if I have the map from what they gave me before, if we get to the ironworks, we know a way out, correct?
Yeah.
I would say, well, you guys want to go through some really shitty territory to get out of here?
Sorry, it wasn't the Hallow, it was the Hollow. My bad.
I was going to question that because I was like, that means like holy, right?
No. Hollow as in empty.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you guys can think of another way to magic us up out of here.
How did you get down here?
I have always been down here.
In this specific room or down here in the place below?
There is a tunnel. It is underwater. You stand upon its entrance.
Bollocks. You gotta swim underwater.
Milo whispers to, it looks like Obi's closest to him, I might have another way out of here.
Well, if we can get out of here, that's probably the most important thing.
It's whence we came, up above, as long as we have enough rope.
How far was that fall? Do we know
It's
roughly?
just over 300 feet.
I have 200 and something feet, I think.
Yeah, you have like 280 feet of rope.
Well, the Traveler's Pack had rope, 50 feet of rope.
I have 250. Okay, so if you can get up there, that'd be fantastic. Because I don't trust this invisible thing.
And Milo's hesitant to talk about the whole thing right now with this thing present, but once we finish the conversation, he'll be more apt to talk about it.
The voice says almost to itself. And you can tell that it's facing away from you guys, by the way, because the voice is being kind of like whispered, projected out over the water. And it says, this water smells of a foul amalgamation, necromantic and conjuration, magics. It smells of ambition, fear, and control.
Milo sniffs the air and tries to sense those same things.
It smells like someone has just spent an entire day angle grinding copper bars.
Oh, that's awful smell. Just the angle grinding itself.
Does my Quipper see anything else now that we're
No, and it senses no
presented to-
disturbance in water. Although, now that to your query, the Quipper easily enough locates this tunnel that he speaks of. It's not directly underneath you, as he said. It's kind of off to one side, but it's about like 3 feet wide, and like 3 or 4 feet tall. And as your Quipper can swim down it, and you can tell that it runs for about like 60 or 70 feet before it comes up to another air pocket,
Wow.
which your Quipper can't go beyond that.
It gets to another air pocket and then can't go beyond that air pocket.
But basically, the shaft goes up until it goes out of the water, basically.
I got you. He can't fly or climb, so or breathe air, so he's good.
And it's not a straight shaft. It's like windy and twisty, but it's not in knots either.
Milo's looking at his companions.
It's fine. Like I'm okay with to give you guys some time to think through the various comments.
Has the water receded any in the past 4 hours?
No. At least not noticeably.
Milo says to the being, for lack of a better term, you seem very perceptive and powerful. Are you stuck here?
Okay, so the voice says, "We're all stuck here."
Oh, it's fucking Pennywise.
They all flout down here, Georgie.
Ugh, I hate clowns.
Giants butter time.
Yeah, no joke. Well, what's your? I guess I'd kind of like. Well, what's your idea of getting up there?
Yeah, I'll just talk about it because it feels weird to talk about it when we've got this, I don't know, almost omnipotent being or this powerful being
You
right
can
here.
definitely tell the voice is coming from one place, by the way, and I'll just draw a circle where the place is. It's not like you're not hearing this voice coming from the caves itself. It's coming from something that is invisible.
Thalia wants to ask, does the is like when he was talking about the smell of the blood and power and all that, he was, is it a good smell or a bad smell?
The voice says, "It is a smell."
What's your name?
The voice says, "I." And then there's a long pause, like 3 or 4 seconds pause. And the voice says, I am forgotten. I have no name. Not anymore.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
Can we give you a name?
You hear the voice breathing. It otherwise doesn't have a response for you. But sure, you guys can call it whatever you want.
Is its breathing sort of unnatural and labored, or does it just sound like a normal human breathing?
It sounds. I don't know if this is a word. It sounds metronomic. Like your breathing alters depending on your heart rate.
So his is constant, 3 in, 3 out.
Yeah, with no alterations.
Do we ask it if it's alive? I mean, is that rude? I mean,
I don't know if we've been in this situation before.
And
Oh.
the voice hasn't appeared to be moving, has it?
It has been standing still for a while.
you know what? How much time is left on your hut, Thalia?
8
About
out.
4 hours.
4 hours, yeah.
I am going to make a callback, and depending how long this is, I'm going to start feeling that the inside of this circle is safe. I don't know if this thing's damned or not, but
You're not going
it's
to
like,
shoot it, are you?
no, but just in case this thing attacks after 4 hours. Remember back in training where they said if you feel an area safe, that if it's undead, it can't penetrate? I'm going to spend the next couple doing that. You know how they had the silver circle that didn't mean anything?
Right.
I'm doing that.
Okay. So you're enacting some personal rituals of yours that you think will render this place safe from the presence of the spawn.
Yep.
Okay.
Milo's
Roll me
also
a-
got a ritual. He can
Roll-
cast a ritual hut as well.
Roll
Just in
me,
case.
Obadiah, roll me a religion check.
Sweet deal.
Okay.
So if we're going to name him, does anybody have a particular name they'd like to call him?
He said he's the Forgotten. Or he is Forgotten. So we could just call him that.
I was going to use Pennywise because he's very wise and he smells like copper.
Well, the whole area smells like copper.
I know.
I get your joke, and I like it. We should call him Pennywise.
Arthur's going to do something real stupid, and he's going to take a step out of the bubble and just kind of listen to see if the creature does anything.
No, it remains standing in place, breathing in and out in a steady, slow pattern.
And it's still invisible, right?
It's still invisible.
And he's going to ask it if it serves anything other than itself.
The voice says, huh. You know, it's an odd question because like it's one I should have thought of like long beforehand. Hey, players will always do this to you. No, actually, what it does say is instead of asking your, and you kind of have the feeling of this creature. You referred to it playing games before, and it seems to never answer any of your questions, or at least it attempts to not answer any of your questions directly, but rather obliquely. And instead of when you ask it, do you serve anyone but yourself? It says, the only thing I do is wait. Eternity, I wait.
For anything particular, or just because it's what you do?
It says, I wait. I wait for someone who no longer exists. thus the eternity I wait. Didn't someone have see invisibility? I'm just curious.
I don't think I do.
Thalia had the option, but she chose sending instead.
Okay. Hey, you could cast sending at the moment and call out for someone to come get you.
Hey, there we go. We do have that party coming, so she could always send out to not Milo, Obi's friend that he made.
Obi, which friend did you make?
It was the guy in the big building, very fancy.
Oh, what's his?
Yeah,
I know. Hold on. The keeper.
yeah, the keeper.
I want to say Davenport, but I don't think that's
Masterfield.
right.
Fielding.
Master Fielding, yes. I don't think I have a character called Davenport yet, but I definitely will now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 hours, so that should give enough time for people to be where we were at. So yeah, Thalia would start casting sending then.
Bring a rope.
Arthur's going to take another step forward and sort of hold his hand out in a way not to shake a hand or to hold it like he's got something in his palm, but just sort of like palm facing where the creature would be, like people would do if they want you to put your hand up to their hand kind of thing, but that's not his intent, just to see if it will like let him touch it or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to move. Although it doesn't like touch your hand or anything.
Does it still sound like it's facing the other way?
No, it sounds like it's facing back towards you now.
Can I whisper to Arthur? Get the foot. Get the foot.
What message do you send? 25 words. Master Fielding.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Are those the specific messages?
Basically, yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, so he responds. He's familiar with the sending spell, so he responds. What hole? Well, no. Which hole? Many holes in sewer. 300 feet. Are you in Undercroft?
So she has spell points to spend because of the resting. So she'll send it back and forth.
You haven't finished the long rest yet, so you may not have spell points.
She didn't spend that many to begin with.
Yeah. I was under the impression that some of you were like completely drained.
That would be Milo, I thought? Or
Yeah,
Arthur?
I would not have been able to cast that mage armor that I clicked on before.
I think Arthur and Milo are both completely drained, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, cause she failed the first casting of the hut. That was 5 points. She did 3 clouded daggers, so 5 plus 9, 14. And I think that was it.
Yep, no worries.
19. So yeah, I got points to spend.
Yeah, okay, so what's your second message?
So she'll confer with the group on this one. But yes, and
Actually, Master Fielding had a few more words, so to remain. There's 25 words is actually a few words. So he responds, how did this occur? And is Butcher neutralized?
We should probably warn him that Dolores has been turned into a spawn to probably leave her be.
19.
Milo, make an intelligence check.
Yes, and Undercroft. Oh.
Okay.
Yes, and
Uh,
Undercroft.
I'll message you something, Milo. before Thalia, we'll talk about your sin.
Okay.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is what I got so far. Oops.
So as she's about to cast, she's deriving her message, her 25 message, and discussing it with the group.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
That is what occurs to you, Milo.
Got it.
Empty pool.
We should probably tell him that Dolores is a bloodsucker. Or well, at least some sort of spawn.
That's funny.
Anybody have anything else they want to say?
Bring rope.
I think the bring help is implied.
Double check. This bring rope. 400 feet.
It's 300.
I'd rather have more than we need.
Would 400 foot be counted as one word or two?
You know what? Fuck it. It's one word. No. 400 is one word, and foot is another word.
No space between words. The count.
Don't come alone.
Yeah, speed rappers can cast 25 words and just like do their entire song.
Crazy Buster Rhymes.
So 4 more words. So, shall we reiterate bring help, please?
Did he ask if what's his face was dead or neutralized or something? Did you answer that?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so, Butcher dead. Whoops.
Butcher dead, have foot. Except not those last 2 words.
Well, we don't have the foot anymore. He threw it.
It's right here.
Butcher dead.
Yeah, now that... A matter of fact, if I'm done doing my whole thing, thinking the area is safe, if Arthur doesn't seem to have been eaten, I'm going to go collect the foot.
Leave me some rope here. Let me start tying this together.
So Arthur's, I don't know if you're done with the talkie thing, but Arthur wants to take his 12 interlocked holy symbols, quote unquote holy symbols out, and ask if the one he is waiting for belongs to one of these.
You see roll me a 1v2 actually. Okay. Oh man. I wonder what's going to go on here. So you see one of the symbols in your mass of holy symbols lift up as if someone has like basically hooked it by a finger, and kind of like lifted it up slightly into the air before it drops back down to the bundle with a clink. And your stomach drops as you realize that he manipulated the symbol of the obelisk wreathed in the flames.
And then he'll say the man that caused all of this blood stuff to pour down from above belonged to that symbol as well.
You hear an exhale, a long exhale, and it just says, it says, good. Good riddance.
He nods.
I think this conversation has gone on for about 10 minutes, right? Maybe.
Probably about that long.
I'm just wondering how long invisibility is.
10 minutes.
That's if I can spell invisible. No, last swap was an hour, so.
Yep, an hour.
He'll ask, do you hide yourself from us or from other things?
It says, there are many dangerous things down here, far beneath the surface. It's prudent to move unseen through the tunnels. Feeders, sentinels,
Your game looks like so much fun, sweetie.
the cavern crawlers,
So much fun.
the gem seekers. All of them are dangerous if provoked.
How have you survived so long?
You hear the voice chuckle, but it's not a happy chuckle. It's a roll me an insight check to analyze chuckle.
Chuckle analyzation begin.
All right. Milo, you can tell that it's a chuckle filled with an undertone of bitterness and anger. And it responds to your question and says, I have not. And I think this would be the perfect place for it to drop its invisibility. After you see a faint shimmering before you as the creature's invisibility spell either is dispelled or has run out of time, and it shimmers before you and fills in to color to reveal a human male standing before you, dressed in very, very ornate looking, almost ceremonial armor. It's rusted and pitted and rent in multiple locations. The figure has long, like dark hair, unkempt, scraggly, running down to its like hips, basically like hip length hair. Almost like the girl out of the well from what is it, The Ring or whatever it's called.
Oh, is he, he said, okay.
Sorry, my Discord is breaking. what was the last part that I said?
He looked like he was out of the ring.
Right, okay. And you can tell immediately. And no, and sorry, and his exposed skin, from what you can see, is pale almost to the point of translucency, as if he hasn't seen the light of the sun for decades. And you can tell by his gaunt features, and the fact that his eyes are like sunken hollows. In fact, you don't even see eyeballs. That this person is dead. It's a corpse standing in front of you. I think Arthur, it would be. I'd allow you to roll a religion check. Okay. You've heard of such entities before, or you've never seen one. You've never seen them illustrated. You've only read about them in certain religious texts. This being before you, you know just from description alone, is a revenant.
I also knew it just from description alone.
Yeah, like you've seen descriptions of revenants before. They're not zombies. Like their flesh is not decaying. Um, they're not skeletons. Obviously, they're not undead bones brought back to life and animated by magic. This thing has been made undead by some kind of some kind of almost divine force coupled with it's almost like a ghost, but it has a body. Theoretically, in your religious texts, tell you that its soul is still within its corpse, unlike zombies and other types of undead.
He'll ask, how long do you have? Or rather, how long have you been dead?
The voice says, uh, 6 or 7 hundred years. I have lost count.
And did the one that you're waiting for, was that the one that killed you?
It simply nods its head, and by nod I mean it tilts its head down, and then tilts its head up.
Thalia wants to whisper to the group that he mentioned the House of Alexandria.
Were you once a part of the House of Alexandria?
It shakes its head, and it says, once we were mortal enemies, but those days are long gone, buried like the city.
Do we know how long the Undercity has been the Undercity?
About the same time frame. 600 or 700 years.
Okay. I'll ask, did the one who killed you have something to do with why this city is abandoned? Or abandoned by the living?
The creature opens its mouth as if to say something, but no words come out, and then it simply shuts its mouth again. Almost like as if it went to say something, but then was unable to, so simply just stopped.
Are there more of you in here?
It shakes his head and says, I am but the only one. remained.
How did you die?
Again, it opens its mouth. It closes it. It tries again. And then it just closes its mouth and shakes its head side to side.
Any idea how we release you from this?
It reiterates what it had said before, in almost the exact tone and inflection. There is no way out. No path that goes back.
I think in the meantime, Milo is gathering up rope and trying to tie it together.
Yeah, I'll say you've managed to tie up all the lengths of rope together. So, how many ropes did you guys have in total, combined with Obi's like 270 something feet left of rope?
270 plus 50, so it'd be 320.
Yeah, so like from your judgment, it should be just enough to reach one of the pillars up there. Oh, by the way, and you sent that message, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so Master Fielding's response, like, it doesn't come immediately. There's a faint pause, almost like a minute. And then he says, remain in place. On the way. No, so assistance is on the way. Do not deviate or travel into the Undercroft. Yeah, that's all it says.
So, there's only one way that this works. I mean, worst case scenario, we're just still stuck down here, and hopefully they'll rescue us. But the one end of the rope, I have no idea how much this rope weighs, but I would change my quipper, have it come up on like next to the shore or on shore, and change my familiar into a hawk. It could grasp the end of the rope with its talon, and
Okay.
at least attempt to fly up there.
All right. Have your familiar hawk roll me an athletics check or just a strength check.
Okay, yeah, this won't go well. I'll roll a d20, and it's got -3.
Okay. Yeah, like it does okay. Initially, just because most of the rope is like being carried. Sorry, it's still on the ground as you're kind of like feeding it out as it lifts with it. But once it starts getting to about like 60 or 70 feet, just the mass of rope trailing behind it just starts to get too much for your hawk to be able to handle. You do notice something quite apparent though, despite your bird not having been able to fly up this high. The opening is gone. Someone or something has placed something, or you can't quite tell from 200 and something feet down, but someone has placed something over the hole.
I'm gonna let the hawk drop the rope.
Okay.
And Milo will reel it in, and then the hawk is gonna go up and look around the hole and see if there's any light coming through or anything.
Yeah, there's. You can tell. You can tell. You can tell that the obstruction is a series of rebar, metal girders, what looks to be parts of the cage that you found Aelin in, and like a metal trapdoor, all piled together over the hole, or at least like partway down the hole, and then some extreme heat source has blast welded most of the metal together into one fused lump of metal.
Oh man. I relay that to the companions that are closer to me.
There are still gaps in there. There are still gaps in the cap, and actually, your bird can actually fit through one of the gaps fairly easily. But you and especially your companions, won't be able to.
All right. I'll at least have him climb through to see what he sees on the other side.
Yeah. The place has been lit up by a couple of torches that have been stuck in place or on pittons. Aelin is nowhere to be seen. She's gone. Obi's discarded firearm is still lying in place in the ground. Several areas of the dome, the masonry, the brickwork in the side, someone has almost looked like they've ripped out or demolished parts of the wall and then just like ripped out the rebar and metalwork from behind the brickwork. Judging by the marks, it looks like maybe with bare hands or bare claws. And the door that you guys entered through to enter the pool dome is closed. Doesn't seem to be locked, but your hawk has no way of opening doors.
Nah. One thing he will try to do is, so this is being relayed to my companions as it's being relayed from the hawk to me. He's gonna try to.
Grab my gun.
Yep, that's what he's gonna try to do. He's gonna try to grab Obi's gun and see if
Okay.
he can fly it in such a way that he can get back through the hole and then fly it down to him.
How much is your gun weigh?
Oh, I don't know. Never put a weight on it. I think that's it. Let's see.
I'd say it weighs like 4 to 5 pounds.
12 pounds. The collapsible
Okay,
rifle.
Oh, 12
Okay.
pounds.
How much can your bird carry?
It's got a strength of. Oops, I just had it. I think a strength of 5.
Yeah, but it's a small creature, so
Yeah. So.
Just have him
You
drag
know-
it over and drop it.
you know what? Like I'll say roll me a strength check with your bird again, just the 1d20 minus 3. Yeah.
Keep on rolling 11s all night. There's
So-
some reason.
So it takes it a while, like upwards to an hour, in order for it to slowly like drag its way across the ground.
Maybe they'll find the bird shoving a gun towards the hole.
And then eventually your bird manages to get the gun to the grate. But then like it doesn't quite understand, it's too dumb to realize how to fit a long object through a small opening. Like it
It's like
keeps trying to shove it through lengthwise.
It's like a dog trying to bring a branch in the door that's bigger than the
Yeah.
door.
So you eventually have to like kind of go into its eyes, kind of like mind control it, and like basically give it directions on like no, barrel goes first. And you kind of have to wedge it through a little bit, but eventually you do manage to get the gun through. and it plummets.
I'm in the water. I'm in the water
Okay.
trying to catch it.
He's
Okay.
gonna get hit in the face with it.
I don't care.
Okay. Roll me a 1d100. Andy.
The good news is it works again. The bad news is
That's not the right. That's not right.
No, that's not right.
Excited. Ah, I'm so bad.
No,
That's a 1d0.
that's a 1d0. Yeah, so.
That's not bad.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. It lands pretty much right beside you. Like you judge it just right. It lands right beside you, and it sinks about 3 or 4 feet, but you're ready for that, so you just dive down and you catch it by the harness, and you drag it back up. It looks munted. It literally looks like someone dragged it. So at first it exploded, and then like after it was exploded, someone dragged it almost like 100 feet across like sewer cobbles. That's what it looks like.
It's meant to handle that. I'm gonna go back into the dome and try to repair it.
Yeah, you won't be able to unless you have proper facilities. It's that badly ruined.
Ah, whatever. Then I'll stick it in the satchel. At least I have it.
Yeah. It won't cost you much to repair it, but you need like a proper workbench and proper magnifying glasses and tools and etc.
I'm gonna make a bench I can fit in the satchel, but I don't have it currently.
portable.
A collapsible bench, you know. But I don't have it currently, so it don't matter.
David, my familiar, is going to. He's already up there, so he's gonna find a perch somewhere he can watch where people might come through, and he's gonna watch it like a
Hawk.
familiar. Yep.
Arthur will ask the creature in front of him what he needs from us.
It says to you, nothing. I smelt destiny in the caves. Curiosity bade me to come and see its carrier. But you do not have it with you.
That was the thing that he was talking about that we held just for a moment, right?
Yeah, he said you held it but for a moment.
She questions the box from Alexandria or the turned human?
The voice turns towards you, and it's not looking directly at you. It's just looking in your general direction because it can't see you. And it says, "Yes, Alexander's box," and it says "box" with the not literal quotation marks, but it's implied.
And then she'll comment that we gave it back to Alexandria.
It makes no reply to your statement.
Are you able to tell us what was in that box?
It opens its mouth and it says, "It was a piece," and then its voice goes silent. And it kind of like, it opens and closes its mouth, almost like a skeleton opening and closing its mouth. And then it kind of like shakes its head and just says, "No, I cannot tell you what was sealed within."
Is it mouthing the words but cannot enunciate them?
No, you get the feeling
Yeah.
that something is preventing him from imparting certain information, something beyond his control.
Okay.
Well, this is interesting. We can play the 20 questions game at this point.
I'm not familiar with this game.
It's yes or no question answers from you while we guess the item. So, is it what the box wasn't that big? So she'll say, is it a piece of jewelry? Yes or no?
It opens its mouth and it says, I have not played games in many years. It can be.
Is it larger than is it larger than a brooch?
Yes.
Is it a piece of the obelisk?
I am not familiar with this obelisk.
He'll just kind of nod and then shake his head.
So it's bigger than a brooch.
Oh, you mean the holy symbol obelisk?
Yeah, he was seeing if it was potentially a physical obelisk that existed somewhere in the Undercroft.
No, no. He shakes his head. Yeah, he says no.
Is it made of metal?
Yes. You get the odd sensation that this creature is amused, and it has not been amused in quite a while.
Well, it's the only way she can get an answer unless he wants to draw said object on the ground.
Is it a key?
The voice says, "It is not designed to be, but it can serve that purpose."
And then Sothai will go, well, what about a lock?
It is not designed to be, but it can serve that purpose.
So we know it's smaller than 12 inches wide and shorter than 6 inches long and shorter than 3 inches tall. Is it the only item in the box?
It says, "Yes, it is the only item sealed within, but there are not but one box, but four."
Oh, that's interesting.
And all of these four things combine to make something greater.
It opens its mouth to say something. Nothing comes out, but then it simply nods its head.
Will this thing bring back the one you're waiting for?
It nods its head. And it says, "It is not its purpose, but it can serve that function."
What was the question?
If it would bring back the one that killed him that he's waiting for.
He said yes, but no.
He said, and I think he just nodded and said it's not meant for that purpose, but it can.
It does, however, add after you guys had that little exchange. It does say this cannot come to pass. The Day Seekers, who run rampant in the old city, they cannot achieve their purpose.
So they want the box as well.
They seek the archive. They have not found it yet.
Is the archive a place or a thing?
Both. Neither. It can be found at a location. You could call it a place. It is also a thing.
And do
The
you
archive
know?
is state of mind. It's random access memory.
Do you know where this archive is?
It simply nods its head. And it says, I know all of the old city.
And would you be able to go there and protect the archive from these day people?
He says, if it is required, but I will fail.
Why do you say that?
The Day Seekers, they have with them a power.
The ability to turn your kind?
He shakes his head and he says, a power. And he's using a power like the capital P.
That's interesting.
Basically, he's saying power noun, not power adjective.
Yeah. How are they?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So he adds a power still in its infancy, but a power nonetheless.
How are they getting about in the city?
They have a power. It's simply.
Does the archive, if we assembled all four if not that we're going to, if we assembled all four boxes, would it activate the archive?
He shakes his head. And it says, the archive is the means.
Obadiah, your map doesn't have the archive on it, does it?
It does not.
Let me look. Oh well, hell. Oh, no, they're not wet. I'd pull out the thing and look around. It's like, oh, I don't think so. And I guess I would say, can you show us on this map where we are now, and kind of show it to him?
It looks at your map. And it looks at it for a while. And then it simply says, I cannot read this.
Thank you for trying.
At this point, Milo, your bird reports to you that people have come into the room above. 3 people, 2 men and a woman. Looking through the bird's eyes, you don't recognize them, but they wear the vestments and equipment of the Silvermongers.
Yeah, I have the hawk call out to the area that we're right below, so it helps them
Yeah.
out, and relay this sighting to my companions.
And they see your bird, they hear your bird call out, and they stop. And then so I'll jump back to the other room, by the way, and just turn off all the illumination. So turn off dynamic lighting so that you guys can see what's going on. None of you are here, so no, not like that. Don't enforce line of sight. You know what? I'll just turn off illumination, dynamic lighting. I mean, I'll just turn it. All right. So your hawk is where? Like near the pedestal or whatever. Okay. They are here, and they are having a conversation. They stop. They hear your bird. They stop and they have a conversation. Roll me a perception check for your bird. All right. So your bird overhears snippets of their conversation. Some words are muffled, but other words are not. And I will let you know. Actually, hop down. You know what? Hop down to the sneaky channel, and while you guys can have a little bit of discussion amongst yourselves.
All right.
I hope they find us. If not, it's gonna be a real bitch to get out of here. Are we screwed?
And someone's up there, and they said they mentioned something about cutting the rope, and that we'll have to kill them. There's 4 of them.
3 of them.
There's 3 of them.
Oh, Jesus. Really? They're going to leave us down here?
No, it sounds like they're going to come for us.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. I misheard that.
All right, so the three Milo are now approaching your bird. They're making their way like along the left-hand side of the first pool. What does your bird do?
It's gonna not hop. It's gonna fly a little bit out of their way, perch on something that's maybe like 20 feet back, away from the main hole. By this time, what it's relayed to me, I've relayed to my companions.
Okay. So what are you guys doing?
Probably trying to figure out what questions to ask next. Because it's gonna take him a while to get through the rebarb.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just kind of looking at how bad shape the hyena rifle is.
Milo's changing out his silvered rounds for regular rounds.
Are you inside or outside the dome?
Milo's inside the dome.
Okay. Yeah. So the three people approach. They jump down. They hop down into the basin. They get closer to the massive mounted works. The woman amongst them just whistles, like like decreasing pitch whistle, like. I don't know if that came through or not.
Yes.
And the man just kind of like scratches his head, and one of them says, Milo. One of them says, "This is gonna take forever." And they start digging through their packs to pull out various cutting implements and crowbars and etc.
I think Milo has the spell as well. We're protected inside of this hut from falling debris and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'd hate to be trapped. Theoretically, a whole bunch of stuff could fall down and we're trapped underneath it, and then the hut disappears.
No. The hut is over the water, so.
Yeah.
I'll jump us back to where you guys are at, so you can see the blue circle is where the terminus of the shaft is. So yeah, it's
we're well out of the way. Got it.
It's only a few minutes more before you guys start hearing the sounds of like objects falling from the shaft and plonking into the water. It sounds like various bits of scrap metal, and someone's clearly up there. As if you didn't already know because Milo told you.
Does the bird see a rope that's still attached to something up there? Yeah. The rope.
Yeah, end of the rope.
When there's an opportunity, I don't know how much rope there was left. Enough to get down, I guess. If it's tied to something, I'll have the hawk take the one end of it and kind of just push it down the hole.
It's pretty much severed at the lip, so it would reach the hole, but like.
Oh, it's like hardly anything. Okay.
Yeah, but that's where Aelin cut it.
Oh, and that's why Obi still has so much of it, because most of it was cut. Got you.
Yep.
Most of it fell with him. You remember that scene from Arnold Schwarzenegger's Last Action Hero, where he's like hanging onto that elevator and the helicopter like shoots the shit out of the elevator, and then like he's hanging onto one of the support pillars, and the pillar just like snaps off, and he's like falling down from the skyscraper, just like holding up this pillar in his hand with a bewildered look in his face. That was Obadiah with his work.
It was something.
So as the Hawks watching, I mean, they're moving all this stuff out of the way. How do they look armed? Do they look like
They looked armed.
like heavily armed? They know they're going into a danger zone, and that makes
The-
sense as well.
The woman is visibly dressed in like she's dressed in like a tunic and trousers, but overlaid on top of that is a translucent, shimmering plate mail, almost holographic in nature. It looks like mage armor, but much more like not like your subtle mage armor. This is like it's meant for show. Like people are meant to see it. And it looks like full plate, full helm, magic plate mail, but magic mage armor. The man, one of the men who has a kind of like an afro, not afro, like kind of like dreadlocks, dark skinned dreadlock man. He carries with him on his back a crossbow with two bars, two crossbars. And the man who's currently kind of like prying at one of the bars just looks like he looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his bodybuilding days, basically. And he's carrying like a scimitar or a saber at his waist.
Did Milo read that or tell us what was in that bit that was in common in that book?
Yeah, I think he relayed that to you guys, and then that's when he said, "Fight fire with fire. We may be able to use this."
Arthur will say that he thinks maybe everyone in the Silvermongers, or at least the higher ups, could be already turned, and maybe that's why they're all collecting silver so that they know who has it, so that they know who can fight them. Because he said that he was using that to control them, not to make them.
I was thinking the same thing.
Would make sense. You want to know? They can even track the individual bars, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. They have scrying spells to locate individual bars.
Anyways, we have a decision to either fight them or run.
Well,
The voice says to you, if you intend on running, you should do so soon. The feeders are not too far away by now. This pool, this foul, fetid cavern will no doubt have attracted their attention.
Can you lead us to somewhere safe for our kind?
It shakes its head and says, nowhere down here is safe for your kind. But I can lead you out of this cavern.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
yep.
It turns and it just steps off the ledge and pops into the water. And then oh wait, your Cripper's not down there anymore. So yeah, it just turns, walks, and plops into the water.
Does it look like Arthur can hang on to the wall as he's going through the water?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because he's probably not going to be able to swim super great, so he would like
Yeah.
to sort of follow and hang on to the wall and kind of guide himself to the hole.
Yeah, the Revenant is dressed in plate armor as well, so he's in a similar situation as you. But if you jump into the water, you'll see that he's standing on like the bottom of the of the water. He's just standing there underwater.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need to breathe.
Yeah, and he gestures towards like the location. It's basically right directly underneath you, Arthur. There's a cavern space. It doesn't look like you'll be able to walk upright in it, but you can definitely kind of like swim slash crawl your way through this passageway.
60 feet, right?
Yeah, 60 feet. So, I mean, in real life, 60 feet is an ordeal, but this is D&D, and all of you have like freaking like 2 or 3 minutes worth holding your breath,
Yeah.
which is completely rubbish because I consider myself a fairly proficient swimmer, and my max, while not under like what's it called, like while not exerting myself, my maximum lying on my back completely relaxed in a warm water pool is just over 2 minutes.
It's pretty good.
I mean, there's that guy that could hold his breath for like half an hour and he stopped because he got bored.
That's just ridiculous.
That's why we play this, I guess.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys can all make it through. Give me like just like an athletics check just to see how, if you run into any troubles. You're basically just looking to avoid a nat one.
Here we go. I could roll 0.
Well, you didn't roll 0.
It's not a nat one.
I have a water breathing spell as well, but I would have to cast it ritually, which we don't have time for.
Thalia?
Yes? Oh, athletics?
Yeah, athletic.
In the meantime, the hawk, I wanted to land on that big guy's shoulder, and it's not trying to like fight him or anything like that. It's just it's sitting on his shoulder and it's like crying.
It lets out. You land on his shoulder, and he lets out the hugest, most girly scream. And he's just like, ah, get it off me, get it off me.
Like the robot devil in Futurama girly screams.
Yeah, basically, like this huge hulkish of a man just lets out this like super high pitched girly scream, and is just screaming about like some crazy bird and like to get it off him.
Yeah, it's just annoying him. Like it's landing on his it jumps up on his head and just kind of just sits there for a while.
Yeah, it's he's going to attempt to like grapple your bird and throw him from you. So, would your bird like to make an acrobatics or athletics check?
Probably acrobatics. He gets a +3 to this. Total
Yeah.
9. Yep.
So he grabs your bird,
Oh crap.
not really that gently, and just like hurls your bird away from him. Doesn't take any damage, but he looks at your bird as it regains its, I guess as it regains air or wherever it lands.
It composes itself.
Yeah, and he just like he like looks over to the woman who looks like she's in charge, and the woman just shakes her head and just points back at the massive metal, and he grumbles and picks up his crowbar a little bit, but he moves so that he's like although he's still working at the pile, your bird is still within his line of sight.
I'm just gonna have the bird hop around, like perch behind them, and then it's gonna hop on the woman's shoulder and just doing things that generally are gonna slow them down and annoy them.
All right. I don't know what role that would be.
Yeah,
Performance?
Yeah, sure. A bird performance check.
Okay. Um,
Actually,
performance, that would be a charisma. It's got a -2 to charisma.
you don't need to do that. After your bird does that for about like 5 or 10 seconds, the woman casts a spell at him. I'd like for you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
What the fuck? What the hell? Okay, so the woman attempts to cast some sort of paralytic spell on your bird, but your bird just like fluffs its wings and rattles its feathers and just shakes it off. And she frowns.
It was actually 22 because the bird has a plus. Oh, I would be using my wisdom. That's correct.
You know what? She frowns and then she walks towards your bird. Does your bird do anything?
Um, it is going to it's gonna fly right at her, like right at her face, not to attack her, but just annoy her.
All right. Let me look something up. Okay, she brings up her fingers, and she says, Vertenwald, and she snaps her fingers, and your vision blanks out and returns to your body.
Ah, okay.
Your bird no longer exists.
Goodbye.
It's been dispelled.
Got you. All right. I bought us like 6 to 12 seconds.
No. While this is going on, you guys, I assume one of you has been dragging Milo's limp and unconscious body through the underwater because I'll say that's the reason why you've got a 1 athletics is because you're just like limp and being dragged along by someone.
Got him.
I'm just wondering why Milo didn't whisper to them.
Can you talk through your familiar's mouth?
The spell whisper.
Oh, whisper. I think
With-
you have to be able to see them actually.
No, I thought it was like message or something like that.
I think that's also like
Oh.
100 feet.
Yeah,
120.
it's 120 feet. Yeah.
But
And
it's
it's
his
there,
familiar,
yeah.
so can he cast through his familiar?
When
He
we touch
can
the-
cast through his
100 feet, 100 feet away from the familiar, I think. Then I can cast through the familiar, I believe.
Regardless which, you guys go up this alcove, and actually, so this tunnel floor goes up out of the water into this air pocket, and you realize that this little like air pocket thing, this little tunnel bit that goes up, it's kind of acting as like a what do you call it? What's those U bends in like plumbing?
Where you been?
Yeah, it's called a U-bend.
Okay, yeah. Because the other end of the tunnel slopes down, quite further deeper than the side the water was on. So it's just that this little bump going up is kind of like sealing over, and you see evidence that like overflow, like more water was in the tunnel. It was in the cavern that you guys were in before, but it has drained like the excess amount has made it over this lip and down the passageway on the other side. And you follow this figure down this long winding tunnel. It goes for he takes you about like 300 or 400 feet. There's various splits of going other directions, but he doesn't take any of them. He walks like basically just right past them, and eventually he brings you out into this cavernous space. It's about 200 or 300 feet long. It's kind of crescent shaped, so you don't see the end of it, and it's about like 30 feet wide at its widest and about 10 feet wide at its narrowest. And he simply points down at the far end of the crevice way and he says, if you seek the Delphic Ironworks, it is in that direction. However, in between you and the Delphic Ironworks are feeder territory.
What
If
is
you
the
have if you have ways of rendering yourself unseen, it would be prudent.
If I had spell points.
Nope.
Wait, what was it?
No spell points left for me. We never got a rest.
Yeah, we're 4 hours in.
I was actually hoping you guys would get a short rest in, but he rolled so high on his first roll. I was going to do the first one was just a flat roll, and then the second one was going to be plus 30, and the next one was going to be plus 60.
Yeah, I probably only have a couple spell points left.
How far is it from
10,
where we
19,
are to the
29,
ironworks?
3.
I will, however, since you guys did get enough of a break to take a break, I will allow you to roll hit die up to your Constitution modifier to recover hit points.
I think we
Because
were
I think,
okay on hit
Arthur,
points.
you look like you're still hurt, right?
Yeah, I'm still there too.
Yeah, so
I-
go ahead and roll.
I don't remember how many HP I had left because I remember asking at the last one, do we get a long rest? And you assured me. So I just changed everything.
Yeah, so did I.
You guys all, those of you who are hurt, all had about half your hit points because you used Channel Divinity to heal it back.
Yeah, because at the end of the last one you said, yeah, you guys get a long rest and you're all down to level 6, so I just maxed out everything.
You know what? My mistake. So go ahead and, except for spell points, you guys can have max hit points. I don't mind. That blood evidently did something funky.
First way. We're probably going to need it.
Oh, so I actually, because we leveled up, I forgot I wouldn't have 2. I would have 12, I think? How many spell points did we get from leveling up?
I think from 5 to 6, it's like 10. Let me look it up.
Good thing my computer just closed all of my Chrome application.
That seems like the prudent thing to do.
Damn, I can't find it for some reason. What page is it on?
I think it. Oh, I don't know. It's in the.
Yeah, I know it's-
CMG.
I know it's in the. Here we go. So you gain 5 from 5 to 6. You gain 5 spell points.
Okay, so I have 7.
You know what? I'll say you guys, for the sake of fairness, you guys had enough. You guys got a short rest in, so feel free to hit spell recovery die up to your spellcasting modifier. I'm a generous god.
You are a very generous god.
Yeah, see, my rules even say a short rest is 4 to 8 hours, with 4 hours at the minimum. So you guys did get 4 hours. So by the way, you guys have to, not that we're really tracking this, but just make a note somewhere that you guys are -1 ration and 1 water.
1 ration, 1 water.
Yeah, and 4 charges of healer's kit, whoever has one. Those of you who are injured, that is, will each require a charge of healer's kit.
I don't think we used a healer's kit.
I think we used that little fancy doodad.
Does
But-
that tiny hut give us like? I thought I read something in it. I could choose it again.
19, so
Food and
minus
water or
9.
something like that. Doesn't it give
No.
us?
32 minus
No, that's
9
Magnificent Mansion, yeah.
Ah, okay.
I meant to subtract 1 from my dry rations.
equals 23.
But yeah, he points you in that direction, and he
Yeah,
says,
so 23.
yeah, if you have a ways of rendering yourself undetectable, it would be prudent. You will not pass for one of the Hallow. Hollow. You will not pass for one of the Hollow.
I sigh and reload my Rhino revolver with the silver round tips.
He sees you reloading your
Oh.
gun with the silver round tips, and he just says, beware. The silver metal attracts the gem feeders, the gem seekers.
I'll just kind of say, fantastic.
Thalia opens up the bag of holding and promptly takes off her boots. And puts them inside bag of holding, along with
Okay.
her silver rapier.
I guess if we're getting rid of all silver things, I will dump all the silver rounds I have into my satchel, along with the short sword.
Okay.
It's gonna
Okay.
go great. I'm gonna die because I have no weapons.
I mean, you still have standard rounds, right?
Yeah, my gun's loud as shit.
But so here's your decision. According to Forgotten, as you guys have named him, silver attracts the gem seekers, whatever the fuck they are. But if you don't have silver on you and you run into spawn, that's
Yeah.
going to be a huge issue as well.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna put anything in my bag. This works for me.
I'll leave each of the decisions up to you individually. Just let me know if you're keeping silver on you or if you're not.
It won't take but an action to get her rapier out, so it's not a big deal for Thalia.
Yeah, my rounds, silver rounds, I had taken them out and just put them in one of my pouches.
Okay.
Arthur will keep his mostly out of curiosity of what these gem seekers are.
Milo's going off and a little bit away from the group and straightening himself out. His beard and hair are all red now, so he's going to his kit and he's messing around with stuff.
Oh, it's not just you. All of you, like your clothing is stained red. Your hair has got like a red, brownish tinge to it. You guys are gonna need a bath when you guys get back.
He keeps
least
on
my-
casting mending to try to get water and stains out as much as he can.
At least my jacket's nice.
Oh yeah, your jacket is pristine. Yours and Arthur's overcoat are pristine. They're unstained at all.
And I don't want to be covered in blood or whatever this is if we're going near those creatures.
It could be a smart idea. So yeah, he points you towards the end of the cavern, and he just says, actually no, he just stands there like a weirdo with his with his one arm extended, fingers like his arms almost pointed upwards at like a 5 to 10 degree angle, and his like finger is just like drooping in that direction. And he just stands there pointing like he has all the time in the world. What are you guys doing?
And he's leading us to the what or the ironworks, right?
No, he's not leading you. He's just pointing you guys.
Sorry,
in the
that's what I meant.
direction.
He's pointing toward the ironworks.
Yeah, and someone asked him how far it was away, right?
I did, yeah.
He says, it is about 5 hours on foot by the most direct route.
You know, in Jurassic Park 2, like Lost World, when they're going through the tall grass and all the velociraptors are picking them off while the guy's screaming, "Don't go into the long grass." I feel like we're at the edge, like the entrance to the long grass. But I guess I'd say, you're welcome to come with us.
He says, I am not welcome in the feeder's territory. They will destroy this body on sight. And he just kind of gestures to himself.
Well, don't you ever want to get through that territory to the other side? I mean, they're going to try to destroy our bodies on sight as well. At least you wouldn't be stuck in this area.
He says, if I need to pass beyond their territory, I will go through the divide. And he points off to the western direction, so to your left from the direction that he was pointing before.
So Thalia questions the divide?
He says, deep underground, there is a place where the earth has rent. It is far to the west, about a day's travel. The spawn do not go there. No one does.
Why?
The earth spews forth toxic gases from the rent. Things do not thrive there, but it does not bother me.
Would it kill living things?
He nods his head. It is not healthy for the living. It is not healthy for the spawn either.
Well, you guys ready to get this wagon rolling? Maybe we'll make it through.
Yeah. Thalia is going to send a message. Can she do that, I wonder?
To who? Sorry.
You were
To
familiar.
whom?
To whom? It'd probably be back to, Fielding.
Okay, what's your message?
Saying, literally, feeders coming, moving to, what was the location Obi wanted to go to?
Ironworks.
Ironworks.
Hang on, are you telling us that you're sending a message?
Yes.
Isn't Fielding the Silvermonger guy?
Yeah, who
Yep.
sent these guys after us to kill us?
Yeah, let's not talk to him anymore.
Yeah.
Wait, they're here to kill us? Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, many times. As many times as until we're permanently dead.
Oh, so, then she'd send it to,
The discussion that Milo overheard was that they were here to kill you and that they were going to throw down a rope and then kill you one by one as you were coming up the rope. Or they were talking about, alternatively, they were talking about having you all get on the rope, holding you up to most of the way and then cutting the rope.
Oh, wow.
They were discussing one or two options.
Okay, well then she would send a message to, God, I can't remember names today.
Dolman?
Dolman, yeah.
Okay.
And
Sure,
she would
you can
ask
send
for
a message,
input.
Roman.
Don't trust the Silvermongers.
What were the you don't have to give me precise words, but what's the general gist of what you're saying?
Basic, in generic terms, Silvermongers are trying to kill us. We're moving from Undercroft to Ironworks in the Undercroft.
Okay, he replies, message unclear, Silvermongers trying to kill you, reason,
519.
Ironwork, the Dalfric Ironworks near, near Access Way. Proceed to, and he gives like an address which you guys are familiar with. It's the well, it's the access way that Master Fielding controls.
Is there
Yeah,
another access close to that?
not that you know of.
Well, we
There
have the
prob-
keys, so that's not too
There
big of a deal.
probably are other access ways dotted throughout, but the only one that you were given the precise location to is Master Fielding's.
Ah. So we were given the basic overlay of the Undercroft, right?
Yes, a basic overlay, and you were given a more detailed area around Master Fielding's, like, I guess it would be called his AO, his area of operation, and the Dalfric Ironworks area in general.
Okay, next question. Do we have a point of reference on the overlay map, like the town map?
Kind of, but not really. Mostly because, like, from what you understand, from what Master Fielding told you, the underground is so wrecked and obstruction filled that, like, pathways are never in a straight line. You have to, like, go through a building and then, like, come out onto a street and then, like, go through the sewers.
Because technically, we were technically in the Undercroft when we at the smugglers area,
No, you were not. You were in the sewers.
and I didn't think we were in the sewers. 'Cause I thought that we could find buildings down there.
No, that
okay.
was just that was just the Undercity. That's not the,
Okay.
I should come up with more distinct names for the various things.
So
But yeah,
Undercroft is underneath Undercity.
you guys are here about somewhere, and Master Fielding's access is here about somewhere.
I'm not
it's
seeing where
literally
you're
Fountain
pinging.
Hall, so. Sorry, I'll ping it. You guys are here somewhere.
Are you on the? There we go.
Okay, so we're in the blue circle.
Fountain Hall is here. And Beacon Hill is somewhere underground west of Fountain Hall.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Dalfric Ironworks is somewhere west of underneath Fountain Hall.
Okay. But I was just curious about Undercroft versus Undercity, because I thought they were the same thing. But Undercroft is underneath Undercity.
So Undercity is like, it's not really a city. It's just old buildings that have just been like built on top of, and someone's like, oh, we don't need this old section, so we just seal it off some floorboards.
Ah, okay. Oh, wait,
The Undercroft is like a buried city. It is below the sewers.
Okay. That makes more sense than what I was thinking then. Okay. Hello?
So yeah, he's telling you that the Forgotten is telling you that it's somewhere in this direction, the Dalfric Ironworks, and that it's a 4 to 5 hour walk. And then he's saying that the Divide is this direction somewhere, about a day's travel.
Okay.
And then he's saying that in between here and here, somewhere, is the feeder's territory. Or at least is a feeder territory.
Okay. That makes more sense than what I was thinking then. Okay.
All right. So what are you guys doing now?
I guess, unless anyone has anything else they want to do, we'll start heading towards the ironworks.
Yeah, I think based on what is that guy's name called? I always forget.
Forgotten? Or
I think since Dolman was saying that we should go to Fielding's place and not sure what's going on, he either doesn't know what's going on or they have him for some reason. And he may even be one of the Walker people or whatever. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense. It's probably not true.
Your general feeling of his return message, Thalia, since you were the one who heard it, was that he sounded like confused. Like, what the hell are you talking about, Silvermonger's trying to kill you?
Well, we're not going there, needless to say, because that's his Fielder's place, and he is the one that's sending people to kill us, or presumably sending people to kill us. Presumably,
Yeah, so Thalia would send another message saying, Fielding trying to kill us.
tell him why. Tell him
Okay.
because.
By the way, are you marking down all these spell points?
Yes.
Okay, so, yeah, do you tell him why?
In as basic terms as I can, yeah.
Okay, so you tell him that, like, you discovered Aelin as a spawn, and she tried to kill you, and you asked for help, and then now Fielding is trying to kill you as well. Is
Yes.
that what?
Basically.
Okay, so his return reply is most disturbing. Will speak to council immediately. Do not, and he says it twice, wasting 4 words. Go to Fielding. Seek alternative exit.
I have a question. The map that Fielding gave me, the entrance and exit, that area is controlled by the Mongers, correct?
Yes, they control the access way. Fielding specifically controls that access way. You
Don't try and stalk me, you stupid cat!
Would everyone like to give me a intelligence check?
Or I can use
Just-
the laugh.
Come here!
Okay.
Come
We're looking
here!
for 15 or above.
Oh.
Thalia, yours is the highest one.
Yeah. The hilarious part, it's 9, 10, 11, 12. That's what we all rolled.
No, I'm not gonna give it to you. I'm a generous god, but like, I set the DC and the DC is 15. So
Oh. Is it... What type of check is it, technically?
it's a recollection check. To recollect information your characters would know, but you as players may have forgotten because it was quite a few sessions ago.
So insight or investigation wouldn't have worked.
No.
Actually, can she use her investigation check to... Because I think Obi, at one point, maybe if he showed the rest of us, maybe Obi can roll instead, saw a map of who controlled what, I thought.
Well, I saw like the yellow and red marks. Like, this is a safe zone. This is a dead zone. This is a danger zone. Like the green marks and whatnot.
From what you understood, the map that he provided you comprised of about like that area.
Fantastic.
So, but Dolman knows where we're going, and if he can get a person to send message, then, then at least, or sending, then at least we can get a message back and forth easily.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are, I assume you guys are leaving Forgotten behind. He just stands there, watching you guys leave. Doesn't make any gestures, goodbye, anything.
I mean, unless he has something he specifically needs us to do, Arthur will just kind of turn to him and say, hopefully, we'll solve the issue and she won't come back.
He nods his head. And he stares at you lot as you guys walk away. Around the corner.
Milo just nods at him, walks off.
Yeah, and yeah, you guys reach the end of the Crescent Tunnel. It narrows down to a passageway. Roll me a survival check. Yeah, so Obi and Milo, you immediately notice that the ground looks like it's worn in the middle of the passageway. So it looks like it's. Have you ever been to like a really old monastery where like they built like the ground, sorry, the pathways out of like masonry, but then like the rough masonry has just been worn smooth over the years by like thousands of feet walking over them. Yeah, it looks like that. Like rough stone worn smooth just by the passage of many, many feet.
So basically, worry stone smooth.
Yeah. And who, by the way, is pathfinding your way through the tunnels?
Milo typically would not.
Would whoever is leading like to give me a survival check? And if anyone else has survival proficiency, I will allow you to assist them.
I mean, if Arthur, I think, has the highest +6 to survival, so if somebody wants to assist me, they can, or if someone wants me to assist them, he will.
I don't have proficiency, so
Then
I would
Dahlia
like
will
to.
help.
Okay, and I will allow guidance on this if you want to roll it.
Ooh,
Sure.
what about inspiration as well?
Yep, I'll allow it as well. Although I must query you in the first place that inspiration is not exactly subtle. You're either giving him verbal encouragement or you're giving him musical encouragement.
She
It's
could be
not exactly
humming.
quiet.
She's humming Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, probably be humming.
Okay, sure. We'll do that. So yeah, go ahead and roll survival. So 10 plus...
Oh, wait.
What's...
Was it supposed to be me or her?
I'm helping
No, no.
you.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you don't have to roll Thea.
Okay.
He just
So-
has advantage.
Ooh,
Okay,
So with
so...
a 28, I
one-
don't think I need the inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah. You erring, in fact... Okay, fantastic. In fact, you go through this passageway and you quickly realize that this is a major thoroughfare, obviously. And it seems to branch off at multiple locations. And you can tell like which one is the main trunk line. So you instinctively follow that. And it takes you sooner or later up to the edges of so it takes you to a shelf along a pretty big cavern. Sorry, that overlooks a pretty large cavern. Like this cavern has to be about like 40 foot tall. No, probably more than that, like 40 or 50 foot tall, about like 50 feet wide, and maybe 100 feet in length. And immediately, as you guys kind of like reach the opening to this ledge that overlooks this cavern, you stop because you hear voices from within the cavern, and you smell the smell of wood smoke or fire smoke at least. And you obviously see light sources, etc., flickering from the depths of this cavernous space. What are you doing? How do you respond? I mean,
And Milo doesn't have his familiar, yeah?
no, his familiar has been dispelled.
I mean, we could give me a little time and I can get it going again.
Well, we may not have time to stay behind them while you catch it. Or what? I mean, stay behind them or catch up while you cast.
Right.
We can't see the individuals yet, though, right?
No.
And how far off do they seem?
Sorry, I'll do another doodle page. Just so that I can give you guys an idea of what I mean. So your passageway kind of went like this.
Hey, Sally, you have a crossbow, right?
Yes, light crossbow.
Can I borrow the hypojet? Because I don't have anything that's quiet.
Milo had it.
Yep, we've got 2 things in it still.
I'm just trying to. Oh, you have like. Do you have any like the poison or any sleep or anything in it? Because I can get the max range out of it, no problem.
I forget what we put in there. I didn't put in anything different. I thought it was healing.
But
Yeah.
never mind then.
You put in 2 healing potions and a greater healing potion, and
Never
you've
mind.
used, I think, the lesser one.
On fucking fuckface.
Right. So
Jeez.
I'm
So-
just disappointed with the Silvermongers Guild.
so you guys are like basically like here. I'll ping you. You've just come to like the opening. I'll draw the opening. Let me know if this does not make sense. To this like cavernous space, and the path that you're on at the moment becomes like a ledge that overlooks this cavernous space. This cavernous space goes down like 40 feet, and in the bottom recesses of this 40 feet, you can hear and smell the activity of someone with cooking fires or something, and just general moving about. Sounds like at least a dozen people, possibly more.
I for some reason heard torch fire as in it was moving closer to us.
No,
But if they're-
campfires.
If they're cooking something or having campfires, like, they're probably going to stay there for a while. So we could probably have Milo cast his familiar, and they could probably catch up or go look at them before they move.
Definitely could do that. Could
Yeah, you can definitely cast a ritual.
I will start that, and I'll just give me a second. I'll pick a familiar.
Something that can fly, probably.
Do you? I ask you guys this. Do you extinguish your light sources and your dancing light?
Well, if we can see their fire, they can probably see our light. So Arthur would probably either tuck around the corner and well, no, his light would still extend out. Yeah, he'd put it out.
Okay. Thalia?
Yeah. What? She doesn't have her dancing lights if he was leading.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure.
Milo's casting Find Familiar. He's got a bat. Its name is Wayne.
Oh, that's so terrible. I'm gonna give you inspiration. Okay, so what does your bat do?
He's gonna fly casually from just forward, trying to be as stealthy as it can.
Okay.
and using its blind sight to navigate its way towards them.
All right. How far? Sorry.
How close do I get, or how far is the blind sight?
How far is the blind side?
60 feet.
So yeah, easily your bat can remain on the ceiling of this cavernous space and still be able to see the floor. Yeah. So your bat flies into this cavernous space and immediately it can sense, although even though it has sight, so I don't know how
Yes.
people think bats work, but bats can see. So it can see that the ceiling is covered in this like fungus that's giving this like bioluminescent glow. It's like this bluish, greenish light, um, almost sickly looking light. The floor of this cavern space is uh, periodically dotted with these almost tree-like mushrooms or fungus that grow up like 10 to 15 feet amongst the tallest of them before they spread out in like a wide cap that spans like 10 or 15-foot radius. Um, and beneath the shelter of, and there's like a couple of places along the rock walls where some kind of water sources uh, pouring from cracks in the crevices and pooling in little ponds at the base of this cavern. Amongst the bottom of which, uh, under the shelter canopy of various of these mushrooms, are about at a rough count, like 2 or 3 dozen humans. Um, yeah, like humans. Uh, they appear to be kind of like uh, tending various domestic tasks, uh, cooking campfires. One of them is like whacking at a particularly tall mushroom with a piece of stone that he's holding in his hands. The thing that your bat does note, curiously, uh, is that none of these people are dressed. They are all naked. Um, and the menfolk amongst them have various stage of like thick beard. They look completely unkempt, uh, and all of them, to a person, have pale, almost translucent skin, like it's never seen the light of day.
They look feral.
Yeah, they don't look feral in the extent that they're not like feral dogs, like slavering, but they look like barbaric. Like there's no signs of civilized behavior amongst them.
Um, he's also trying to listen in to hear if they're having conversations or trying to make out what they're
Okay.
saying, if
You,
anything.
I think a 60-foot blind sight, because bats like blind sight is sound, so I think your bat could probably overhear most of the conversation. No, they don't appear to be having any kind of conversation that you can understand. Their communication mostly consists of grunting, growling, and other types of basic vocalization.
They don't look to be sort of rotting, do they?
No, they look human. They look like they're alive.
Milo's relaying this to the rest of his companions and kind of just has the bird hang or the bat hanging there upside down.
Did they tell you anything about this, Obi, whenever you were talking to people about the Undercroft?
I don't think so. I don't think they mentioned a crazy bioluminescent cavern full of feral people. But this is all uh, their area, so it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. This is just a shitty area to be in for people who are alive. If we had gotten in the way I wanted to, we would have been safer, but I didn't expect us all to fall through a hole.
So should we just go around and ignore them, or do you think?
I mean, if we could sneak by them, I mean, we don't know what's on the other end of this thing, but this is the direction, what's his name said, if we trust him. For all we know, he's feeding us these people. I couldn't get a read on that guy. He was just odd. At least, you know, if I was dead too, I'd probably be odd.
I don't think he was trying to lead us to our doom.
Well, I mean, if we could sneak by anybody, that'd be the thing to do.
All right, so I guess we're just gonna try to sneak across.
Okay.
Um,
Sure.
Before we go in, is there any of that like bioluminescent stuff like within reach of us, or is that just
Yeah.
ceiling?
Yeah, there's some that's like closer up towards the ledge. That oops, I didn't mean to do that. That you could probably grab some off the walls along the eastern side.
I'd like to scrape some off and put it into the satchel.
Okay, yeah, you scrape some off. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Man. I should have said scrape it off. That's why I said into the bag of holding, so I didn't touch it, but I didn't specify it. So
Yeah, as you reach out and scrape it, like part of the wall, kind of like almost like as this handful of moss comes off, there's like a pungent odor in the air, and you can almost see the spores in the air as you scrape it off. You inhale most of this stuff, and like immediately there's a like a choking sensation. You don't take any damage, but you are now considered poisoned
fantastic.
as you feel ill from the effects of whatever the stuff this is.
After seeing the spores,
Don't touch the walls, guys.
Arthur will say, perhaps the people down there are just suffering from some sort of madness from the spores.
I hope not.
Would all of you like to roll me a stealth check as you cross this ledge to the opening on the other far side?
Well, knowing I'm going to fail this, I'm going to cast guidance on myself.
You could also get bardic inspiration if Thalia wanted to give you.
Yeah, that's fine.
He still has the one from earlier, doesn't he?
No, I wore out with the spell that Milo cast. 10 minutes.
Okay. Alright, I'm sorry.
So a whopping 4.
Is that plus the?
Oh, did you bardic inspire me? I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't super matter because Milo, but yeah, I'll do it anyways. Is it D8 or D10?
It should be D8.
So
Okay.
11.
I'll think in the
Yeah.
back of my head, maybe I can sneak by them and just, but no, I won't leave.
Yeah. So you quote unquote sneak by them. There's no like obvious signs that you were spotted. Although when you like glance downwards towards the cavern, you can tell like a couple of the people down there are looking in your direction. They don't raise the alarm, they don't call out or anything, they just kind of dumbly stare at your general direction as you go past. And roll me a 1d100, someone.
I would like to, but I think I've already maxed out my luck with the 1d100s. Apparently the trick is to, like, not do it well.
Okay. Well, it depends on the situation. It's a percentile die. So yeah, none of them raised an alarm. You're not sure if you were spotted or not, but a couple of them do stop what they're doing and turn and just look in your general direction, and just sit there staring dumbly. So do you guys continue on past?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Right. So you guys travel for another, following this thoroughfare, and it seems to be going in direction, roughly a northeast direction from what you plotted out. It's definitely going in the direction that you were told. You go for another, like an hour or two. Could everyone roll me a stealth check? And I'll do this as a group. Oh, that's very nice. That's not as nice, but that's also very fucking nice. So, yeah, so over the next couple of hours, several times, you guys hear the sounds of movement in the passageway further up or behind you, like fast footfalls, sounds of claws scraping against the ground, and you guys, like one or two of you, like Thalia or Obadiah, you like grab the other's attention and duck down into some side alcove that's like a dead end, or just like a hidden nook, and you guys wait while whoever is coming and going
This is why
passes by. Wayne, does Wayne stay out to see who they are, or do you hide him as well?
He would hide. He'd try. He's always gonna try to hide like above, as opposed to like to the side. Like
Okay. Can
try
he?
to hang from whatever rocks or whatever's around.
Can Wayne throw me a stealth check?
Yep. Give me 1 second. This would be +2.
All right, fantastic. So the first group he sees is a group of spawn, 6 in number. They are the type that Thalia encountered in the smuggler's roost, the one that dragged her across the ceiling. They are running like a pack of, like a wild pack of dogs. They're coming from ahead of you, going in the other direction that you came from. You guys duck into a side alcove way and just like stay out of their line of sight. They don't appear to have noticed you or Wayne, and they just continue amongst your way. About an hour later, you guys hear the sounds of movement coming from behind you, like the sounds of just like general claws on stone, footfalls. So you duck down into another side passageway, hoping that they don't come down this way and continue on the main thoroughfare. And your suspicions, your intuition was correct, and they continue on the thoroughfare. This time, Wayne sees a single individual walking upright, running really, almost with preternatural speed. It looks to be a male elf, slightly gaunt looking and pale looking. He looks to be escorted by 4 of the crawler type spawn, the ones that run around on the ceilings. 2 of them, in fact, are running along the ceiling as if they're running along the ground, and the other 2 like run at this person's sides, like they're hounds, following the lead of the master, or at least running ahead of their master. And they run quickly past you down this cavern way and pass out of sight almost within moments.
All right. I'll relay that to the rest of the group.
Uh,
He didn't look familiar, right, or wearing any sort
No.
of marking.
no, he did not look familiar. At least not to Milo. Yeah, and so do you guys continue on, or do you guys seek an alternate way? You figure if your judgments are right, you've been traveling about 3 to 4 hours. You're probably most of the way there now. By now, if the feeder territory is between you and the Delphic Ironworks, then you figure that you're probably most of the way through their territory.
We're almost there.
Yeah, this is where the velociraptors come out of the tall grass. I say we keep going.
Yeah, that's fine with Arthur.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay. So you guys continue onwards. Another 10 minutes or so finds that the main thoroughfare that you're following turns from going northwest, northeast, sorry, rather. It turns almost 90 degrees and starts going northwest. There's a side split off, looks to be infrequently traveled, looks tight, narrow, and cramped. Looks unworked, unlike the passageway that you've been traveling along. Although it doesn't look like the main thoroughfare that you've been traveling on, now that you've been traveling on for 4 or 5 hours, it doesn't look like it's been worked traditionally in the sense that someone has gone at it with, chisel, hammer, and picks. Instead, it looks like the walls have just been scraped smooth by the claws of these spawn, and the bottom has been worn smooth by the booted soles of the ones that can pass. But this passageway that you're heading into looks unworked. It looks infrequently traveled, and it's narrow and tight and uncomfortable. There are various places where Obadiah has trouble fitting past because of his bag of holding.
His gut of holding.
Uh-huh. And as you kind of tunnel or scramble through this windy, windy tunnel passageway, you get to a point where the tunnel splits off in two paths, in a fork rather, and seems to combine together like 30 or 40 feet ahead. On the left-hand side is a series of steps going up, natural steps. I'm not talking about like work steps. On the right is appears to be a pit in the middle of the passageway, with like a kind of like a sheared off stalactite or stalagmite, whatever they're called, the ones that stick out from the ground, forming kind of like a little island in the middle of this pit. You stop because you hear an odd rumbling in the walls, almost like an earthquake. How do you guys respond?
He distinguished the Earth Shakers from the Gem Hunters, right?
No, I don't believe I mentioned the Earthshakers.
I thought I remembered something about something that moves through Earth or something.
I said feeders, gem hunters, I'm gonna have to listen to exactly what I said with Thalia's recording, but I don't remember mentioning Earthshakers.
All right. Arthur will then sort of suggest to possibly put the silver in the bags for temporary, uh, whatever.
I will do so.
Are we going to
Okay.
go up or hop over the island?
And then to stay very still.
Okay. When you pull the silver out to put it in your bag, the rumbling intensifies. Um, and this time the rumbling is from a different direction. So before it was to your right, and now it's to the left. And then like the rumbling to the left stops. And then there's a faint rumble to the right.
I am going to take one of my silvered rounds and chuck it in the direction farthest away from us.
Okay, down the left path or down the right path?
Behind us.
Okay, behind you. Sure, you toss it around over your shoulder as far as you can.
Yeah, like I literally turn around and like Brett Favre chucked that bastard as far as, but not like it's a simple whoop, but like with great effort.
Okay, fantastic. Uh, the rumbling continues, and a third rumbling soars to your like to your right, like behind you a little bit. Echoes forth. I mean, if walls could have conversation, you would suspect that the walls are having a conversation. What languages do you guys speak?
Don't speak wall.
I don't know. Maybe you guys might speak wall. No. No, none of you speak wall. But everyone has, at this point, taken their silvered objects and placed it either in the satchel holding or the bag of holding, right?
Dahlia's had hers to begin with, and like that.
Yeah, the moment he said it, all I had of silvered was like my bag of like the ammo. I just threw the satchel in, but the one, and I threw the short sword in. My gun's loaded with regular lead.
Okay. So no one is carrying any silver upon them. Yes.
That's correct.
Correct.
I'll follow everybody else's lead and get my dagger and the ammunition into the pack.
Okay. Very well. Then everyone roll me a stealth check.
Oh, I was due for a shit one.
Don't worry about it. I do group rolls anyway. Bailey, are you there? Did Robin AFK?
Oh, no, I'm here. Sorry. Stealth?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. You guys, basically, the rumbling proceeds forth, but you gingerly pick your way ahead. The rumbling seems to stay put. It doesn't seem to shift after to follow you. In fact, one of the rumbling sources decreases in volume as it seems to shift away from you, going back towards the direction that you came from. And you manage to make it up these steps back to where the fort combined together and continue forth, avoiding this encounter altogether. So I don't need that map. Yeah. You travel for another, I think, half an hour or so before you start seeing signs of structure. You come out of like a tunnel, like a tunnel into what is clearly a street. Like it is clearly a street, except the cavern wall, the cavern ceiling, seems to cut off what is clearly a three-story building. But like it might be higher than the three-story building. It might have been 4 or 5 stories, but the cavern ceiling just like shears through the side of the building. One end of the left-hand side of the cavern just ends in the middle of the street, so the street just ends against a cavern wall. You're not sure what kind of cataclysm would have caused Earth to just shear off a street or shear through a building, but you seem. Have you seen that scene in Demolition Man where they go to that pre-war museum?
Yes.
So like the urban museum, and like it's like a street, but everything is underground.
Yep.
Yeah, it resembles that. Like it just looks like a normal street, but like weird. There's weird cavern walls where there shouldn't be, and there's a ceiling.
Is it the TV that if we get in a fight, I can hit Wesley Snipes with?
There are no TVs.
Oh, that's sad.
Oddly enough, there are lamp posts along the street. The street runs about 60 or 70 feet. And there's 2 buildings on one side that's uncovered, 1 building on your side that's uncovered, or at least one of its faces is showing. There's about a dozen lampposts, and like 2 or 3 of them are still lit. By what source, you're not sure.
Is it clear on the map where we are now?
Yeah, I'll bring up the map if it's not too much of an issue.
Yeah. As you bring up the map, you notice that one of the buildings, heavily defaced, has the word "works" written on it, and the other letters of whatever signage this is has been smeared off or broken loose or otherwise covered by debris.
I believe that's what I'm looking for.
By the way, I think this session ran long a little bit. Did it?
No, normally we start at 8:30, so we're about...
Right. Well, I don't want to take you guys past midnight because I know some of you work in the morning, so... And I think Thalia is falling asleep.
Yeah, I haven't been getting much sleep this week. I'm trying to pay attention.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I assume you head into this building. You guys heading into this building?
Yeah.
I would suggest before we head into it that we kind of like wait outside for like maybe a bit, because what's his name? Fielding knows where I wanted to go, so he may be sending people here.
Yeah,
That's
but
smart.
yeah, but at the same time, he doesn't know that we know how to get to here.
He doesn't, but
He's not the one who gave you the map.
he is the one that gave me the map. I had to literally go and get written permission from what's her name, and I had to tell him exactly where I wanted to go, and that's when he gave me the map.
So,
He may
question.
still send people here as a precaution, though.
He may have, he may not. We don't know how long his goons are going to get back to him, saying that he couldn't find us. So, if you were looking for someone and you knew where they wanted to go, and where they were last for, they're no longer there, you might send someone in. So if we could maybe wait like in a building next to it and see if anyone shows up, or we can go in. I'm just suggesting maybe we watch it for a bit and see if anyone shows up. We can take them out.
I like that. If necessary, if we see somebody show up, Milo offers to create an illusion of us in that building to help confuse them more as well.
Well, here's the next thing is, because we can ritual cast Tiny Hut, we can pick an out of the way corner, since it's opaque from the outside. And
Maybe that'd be great. Getting a building that has a really good view of this and just sitting there and watch.
we'd be able to see. They wouldn't be able to see. And Milo, do you have enough spell points to cast invisibility?
Yep.
So you could check the building out really quick, or at least an area of it.
Or my familiar can do that as well.
Either or.
If you can go in there and find get I tell him what I'm looking for, like in the schematics. If you can find like a room full of, where possible they are, we'd have a location where we want to go, and we don't need to I don't need to. I could beeline in, get it, and get out, and I'd be thrilled.
Yep. I can have the bat. Check it out. Wayne.
Wayne. He named it Bat Wayne.
Only thing better than Wayne is Bruce.
Yeah, I didn't. I named everything except for the Quipper, I think, so far. I came up with him. Came up with a name for him.
But yeah,
Alright,
if we get a recon, that'd be perfect.
So, I'll leave you guys here for now, and I'll wall this section off so that, you guys will have line of sight. Well, not line of sight. You guys will have some sight on this map. And this just represents, basically, you guys are outside lurking in a nearby place under a domed, a Lena's tiny hut. And you fly your bat in. Do you cast invisibility on it?
Yeah, I guess I would.
Okay. I'm just going to use your token, by the way, to represent your bat. Mostly because I'm a lazy DM.
I bet
Right,
you.
so-
I'm going to the OneDrive now to see if there's an actual bat.
Oh, I meant to do something.
If not, I'm pretty sure we can we can find the bat symbol.
Nope, there's a bat. Top row, right directly in the middle. 5-1.
Sure. Well, I'll do it next time.
No rush.
But-
Just a
but-
placeholder.
For now, Milo, this is what your bat sees as it flies into the ruined storefront or the ruined building front of this structure that has the word "works" written on there.
Sweet.
Can you see it, Milo?
Yep, I can see the room. Yes.
Right. So where does your bat go?
I think just towards the center of the room to get the best vantage point.
Okay, you can move yourself if you wish.
I'm just gonna move Milo in place of that.
Yeah, I've used Milo as a representation of your bat. So
This room is lit?
it is. Can you see it? I think I gave everyone.
Yeah, there's like
Not
6
line of
lights
sight.
in here. I was surprised that this particular building was still lit, but I guess it might be
Yep.
if people come here.
It's lit. The interior is lined
Yes.
with. Sorry. The interior is lined with these weird geometric silver filigree, and the filigree, certain sections of the filigree drawn in circular glyphs or runes are glowing faintly. You get the impression that they could light up much more brightly to brightly light this place, but whatever is powering these light sources seem to be on a power saving mode or something, because the room is only very, very dimly lit. And as your bat comes flying through the entrance, an object appears in the center of this pedestal in the center of this room. It floats about 3 feet off the ground, pretty much at eye level. The center of it floats at eye level, and it looks like a giant, not a giant, like a 6 foot maybe not 6 foot, maybe like 4 foot tall, 1 foot or 2 foot wide teal prison. Um, and this prison says something that you do not understand. Although you understand it is Elvish.
Yeah, I assumed we're going to need Thalia for the talking here. Because I know the script was in Elvish.
The thing that it says is short enough that you could probably repeat it verbatim to Thalia for her to translate it. Do you do so?
Yes.
Okay. And Thalia, I assume you would translate whatever it said for Milo.
Yeah.
Okay. It says the prison says what what welcome to the Delphric Ironworks Patent Office. How may I direct your inquiry? And that's where we'll leave it the next time.
Sweet. I'm excited.
So she actually has to go in there.
Dino robots.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, guys, since everything's looking so shitty, that this area is not protected by those sentinels. When we get to the nice part of town is where we don't need to be.
Sentinels, I'm assuming, are some sort of construct that want to kill us.
Yeah, they're purple, and they fly, and they shoot laser beams, and they hunt mutants.
Hey, Thalia, didn't you fight a sentinel in your Marvel game?
Technically yes, technically no. It was one of the sentinels that gained intelligence. Technically.
That's even scarier.
Or it had some intelligence by itself. I don't remember what the guy was called. Helix. I believe. No,
Yeah,
maybe.
I just remember watching that episode while you guys were streaming.
Yeah. Which we're having the next game this Saturday, I believe, the 15th.
Kev, how's that spaceship game you've been playing?
It's raw. It's buggy, but it's fun.
Do you ever play FTL?
Yeah, I play FTL, although I didn't like the finite nature of it.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm still trying to beat the first one on easy. I'll get to the last boss a couple times. It's
Yeah.
either I don't have enough shields or my weapons are too weak. It's either one or the other.
Yeah, and I also don't like the kind of the RNG-ish nature of the game.
Yeah, it's super
like,
RNG, yeah.
I don't like a game where like you live or die by LFG. RNG.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, that was fun. I'm super excited for next week.
Hey, Perrin's finally gonna close out his story arc. Robin and Rum, you guys are good for
Oh
tomorrow.
yeah, that's right. What time is it tomorrow?
It's at 9.
I should be
It's
good
okay.
to go.
You guys had one of 3 possible combat encounters, and you managed to avoid all of them.
That's what I was going for. How much did me chucking that bullet help?
It actually helped us. I don't know. The part that helped the most is you guys securing all of your silvered items into another dimension altogether, which gave you advantage on your stealth checks, by the way. But you don't even know that.
Yeah, thank Jeebus. I'm super excited to get Mud back up. I'm glad I got that page work because it was old and just like nothing worked. What in your game, Pren?
Yeah, it should be good.
You know, I went and over everything till it worked.
Yeah, we're pretty much all set. I was talking to well, Zach's here right now. I was talking to Zach. I think it was last night, and we were talking about it. So yeah, we got 5 people total. And parents bringing like everything with him, all his uh, elementals and other stuff with him as well.
Yeah, I gotta take K3 shopping.
Mud
Yeah,
has
it-
exactly 200
With
gold.
Poodle.
Poodle's
Uh,
not going, I don't think.
Oh, okay. I put Poodle on the thing just in case, but
Yeah, I think Poodle has to stay behind in case they decide to take Poodle to the caves again.
that's cool.
Yeah, because Poodle has the necklace.
On a different question, for for the Forgotten, as you guys have named him, this is the first character that I've written in an interaction sheet. You know, similar to in the DMG, how it has like various questions that you might ask him and what his responses are, so I
Yeah.
didn't have to like make them up on the spot. How do you guys think that went? Like, did you guys notice a distinct difference between the interaction, or should I just stick with making it up on the spot?
No, I liked it. It was interesting.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys managed to hit most of the points that I had set out, except for one of them, which is how do we pass as Hello, or Hollow rather.
I'm assuming his answer is you have to die.
No. He says, this is the only one that I got written out, and his response would have been, the being gets a weird rictus smile, which unsettles you because so far his expression has been none, and he laughs with a weird halting laughter, and then he replies, even if you were dressed the part, your hue and pallor would single you out. And by dress the part, he means get naked.
Yeah, Milo. Didn't you know that?
If I got naked,
It doesn't know you're alive.
ah, I would have got naked.
I really don't want to get into much combat down here if we can help it, because
Yep.
I think it would be bad news bears.
Yeah, combat down here is bad news bears, but it's also highly rewarding. Oh yes, XP. That's right. Let's see. You guys didn't technically fight anything, but you guys did manage to avoid 3 encounters. I think I'm going to chuck you guys like let's see.
And change my actual XP from last time. I know we're at level 6. How much XP is in level 6?
It is 1400. 14,000, sorry. I'll throw you guys 1,000 XP each.
Nice.
Nice.
And I just realized something. At an Ironworks place, they probably have a bench where I could repair my rifle. But if I have a bench, how long would it take? Or would I have to roll like a...
It'll take you a couple of hours.
I'm not going to do it down here.
It'd be faster if it was only damaged, but it's wrecked. Like,
Yeah, I just want to get up and like go to that magic store. I want to go to that magic store for like 2 months now. It's just things keep happening. Which is, I guess, it's a good thing because it's not like, oh, every week you're back here. So when we actually get there, it'll be nice.
I feel so bad for you because you keep wanting to go to Magic Store and just shit just keeps happening. And it's not like shit's going to stop happening.
Yeah, well, if we get up, I just want to go to a magic store and buy a thing of night vision goggles and have them put it in my mask, and I'll be thrilled. But at least I got the satchel of holding, so that's like the main thing I wanted.
All right. Well, I'll catch you guys next week. I hope you've all had fun. I don't know. It's kind of a little bit weird. Like RP heavy sessions with no combat, like kind of always weird me out because I'm not entirely sure if you guys are having fun or not.
I like a balance between RP and fighting. We just had 2 huge fights, so an RP session's really good.
Yeah, it gives a chance, and I don't want to start firing off shots down here because they would. It's basically like zombies, the chain reaction.
I'll give you guys a hint. Like the fight with the 3 silvermongers was doable, but you guys are in a kind of like a rough position. As Obi-Wan would have said to Anakin, they had the high ground.
Yeah, but we had the high ground's overrated. They had to come down to shoot us. We could have stayed in the hut and shot out from it.
Their plan was, by the way, was to either cut the rope while you guys are all on it, or bring you up one by one and just kill you, and then bring the next guy up and kill you.
Oh, we're injured. We need help. Come down. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm gonna try to
and-
roll a deception with my sweet -1.
The fight with the walls was definitely doable. Not that you
What
guys
language do
wanted
they
to.
speak?
Terran.
Oh, yeah.
And the fight with the spawn was suicidal. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and say that.
Alright, well, you guys have a good night.
Later.
99. I gotta get ready for my
Especially,
game a little bit.
especially the second group. The first group was doable, but the second group was like you would have just gotten owned. All right, Robin, I'm hopping off. Later.
Bye.